What's up, guys? This is Mike Martin here with another demonstration video for the Orange line. This week we're doing the Dual Dark 100, and this is a beast. I have been waiting to get my hands on this for a few months since it first premiered out at the Winter NAMM show, and finally got my hands on it at the Summer NAMM show, and Orange was kind enough to let me live with it for about a week so I could really get a good sense of it. This amp to me is probably one of the most interesting and versatile of the line that I've tried so far for a few of the features. Mainly, it's based on the Dark Terror architecture, but this is a 100-watt version of that with 2 channels. So you've got a channel A, which has your standard gain and volume control, which is most of your tone shaping, and then a 3-band EQ, which is passive. And then your channel B is gain, volume, and then a shape control, which really attenuates how much the mid-range scoop also helps shape your sound there. A couple other cool features are it's defeatable. You can cut it down to just 2 power tubes in the back, and then you can run it at half power. So you can run it at 100 watts, 70 watts, 50 watts, or 30 watts. For today, I am running this with half power tubes and then again half power. So I'm running it at 30 watts so that we can deal with some of the home recording volumes here. You get a ton of headroom, and then basically I've got this mic'd up in an ISO cabinet with vintage 30s that are Hellatone exercised by Avatar. It's a Glenwood cabinet, and I've got a Royer 121 and a Shure SM57 on it. Another cool feature of this is the Footswitch. You can get a dual Footswitch or 2 Orange Footswitches, but there are 2 Footswitchable options on here. You can switch between channel A and channel B. And then this other feature, which we saw on the OR50, which I liked a lot, is this is an attenuator circuit. And right now I have the attenuator out of the circuit, so you're just hearing it wide open at 30 watts. But what you can do with that is you can set whatever your volume is going to be and use it as a boost, basically. So you could maybe set it about halfway back, and then for your leads, just kick that, and then punch it back after your lead to get to back in the rhythm section with the band. I find that to be very helpful, not only for the boost feature, but especially in consideration for these amps are very sensitive and have the pre-gain and the post-gain. So all of that tone shaping really happens between the balance of those things, and there's not a master volume on these amplifiers. So to set your sound and then get in a situation where you need to turn it down, it's nice to have the half power stuff that'll change that part of the architecture, but the attenuator really does allow you to sort of bring the same sound down, so you can actually get your wide open sound at rehearsals. And then, you know, if you find yourself in a live situation where you just need to bring it back, that attenuator knob is really beautiful for that, so you don't have to run it wide open in that way. All right, so let's check out a few more sounds out of this, so we can hear the difference between the 2 channels. I think it's really neat. You can get these channels sounding very close. Here's the B channel, and that's how I had it set up for the start of the video. So just got the volume halfway up and the gain probably around 2 o'clock. If we pull that back to about noon, it's a nice crunchy. really nice. Of course, dynamic to your volume knob. And I find the clean stuff, if you want it super clean, you might want to turn that volume on the channel. Of course, you'll want to balance that with the other channels. Let's bring that back. And just for these purposes, I'm going to set the shape. I've got that right there about 11 o'clock. It tends to be a little more mids to this side of 12 o'clock and more scooped to the other side. So we'll experiment with that. You hear it gets that aw kind of funky sound. A little more full, you hear a bit more low mids and less of that nasal high mid stuff. Right around 1 o'clock, you hear it start scooping out and get a little more thrashy. Put a little more gain on it. And then all the way scooped. You know, if you're doing more of the thrashy thing. And this is definitely one of the gainier amps, if not the highest gain amp that I think Orange is making. So, because you should, we should turn it all the way up. So plenty of gain on tap with this this beast. All right, I'm going to set it for 12 o'clock, and then we're going to go check out the channel A. They really are voiced a little different, but you can get them to sound similar. So if you're a one-channel amp kind of guy and wanted to use one gain as just sort of a boost, but EQ'd basically the same way, you can do that. There's the gain set about the same. Channel B. Channel A. That's channel A. Maybe a little bit brighter on channel B. There's A again. There's B again. So very close. Don't even really hear a lot switching back and forth between them. So the thing I like about channel A is you get, with the three EQ knobs, you have a little bit more tone shaping possibilities. Put a little bit more gain on it. That's the treble all the way up. And with the telly, it's musical. It's not a really shrill top end, and then all the way out. And then basically neutral in the middle. So very usable range of EQ there. Bass, of course. All out. So you can really tighten up the bottom end, a little over dramatic there. It's about 9 o'clock. Back to neutral. Come up to 3 o'clock. And then all the way up. So typical Orange, there's a ton of bottom end coming out of this amp as well. And I find all Orange amps really sound good somewhere right about the middle, and then depending on the guitar that you're playing, you may want to just subtly move things from there. I find everything just kind of lives right there at the neutral spot as really nice. And here's the attenuator knob just in. all the way attenuated. And then up. So I've gone back and forth a bunch of different ways I can find a benefit to both channels being the clean channel or the dirty channel if you're looking to do that, but they both have such a wide range of gain and clean. It's really hard to decide which I liked better. They both have, it's subtly different in the mid-range to my ears, what I hear that's different. Really like that channel. Trying them both a little bit cleaner. Let's we'll go back to channel B and maybe turn them up just a little bit. Really nice clean. It's got just enough of that chewy thing. And of course, if you wanted it just to start breaking up. And then let's try to match that somewhere on channel A. So we'll bring the gain down right about the same place. Bring the volume up a little bit. So even with a cleaner sound, you can get them to voice pretty well between the two. So anyway, I hope that answers some good questions that you might have had about the Dual Dark. I believe the 50-watt version is fully featured in all the same ways, just the full output is at 50 watts and then cascades down from there, and they have power and then half play section that they have here. So if you have any other questions, you can go to orangeamps.com and check that out. And you can go to your local Orange dealer and check one of these out. I definitely think for all the stuff that I've had a chance to demo the Orange stuff, it's definitely the most versatile, which makes it very appealing for me. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and please subscribe to my channel and check out more videos, and we'll see you very soon on another one. Thanks.